This is the next slide you'll see in your classes for today, and you'll notice that either of these will take you to a link where your assignment is explained for your curriculum story, which is worth 30% of your overall grade. So I'm going to click on this now and take you to this assignment and highlight some of the key things you should know going into this assignment. Do note, though, that you should take some time to read over this entire document, as I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But essentially what your curriculum story is your opportunity to showcase to me and yourself your experience in curriculum and technology integration. To present this curriculum story to me, there's a number of options, and I'll talk about those in a moment. But essentially, you are taking me through where you've been in developing your curriculum, maybe even what different jobs you've worked through, developing curriculum for, how have you used tech integration, and if you're sitting there thinking, I actually haven't used very much before this master's, that's fine. That's what you're going to tell me. And then maybe even look into future of where you think you'll go after you complete this master's program. Regardless, as you're doing this curriculum story, you do want to make sure you include at least 3 resources that inform your understanding of your journey. Some of the readings that we go through in this course over the next few classes, some of the discussions and activities might be able to be something you could use in this. Regardless, make sure you use APA formatting whenever you reference these various things throughout your curriculum story. Note that this is due on class number 5, which is Friday, July 7th, but you will have a fair amount of time in the afternoons to tackle this along with some of the other major assessments that we'll be doing. So I'm going to scroll down now and look at the different ways you can present your assignment. It could be in video form, you could do audio form, written, online, creative, or anything else you can think of. Just send it through and make sure it's good, but I'm sure it will be. And so you can read kind of the details of what I'm thinking with these, but really, however you present your curriculum story is up to you. It could be something you're comfortable with, some kind of technology, or it could be something you've never used before and you want to challenge yourself a little bit. So I'll leave that one up to you. Now, if we go down a little bit more, there's some questions here that should guide you in developing your curriculum story. By no means do you have to cover all of these within your story, but definitely choose a few at least to go over when you're developing the story. Okay, moving on, we'll go down to the next part, which is how you're going to be evaluated. Some of the key things that I want you to consider when you're developing it. You want to really, think about what you're going to share with me, the experiences, events. Be kind of specific when you're discussing these as you go through. Talk about the integration of technology that you've used or have not used moving forward. Make sure your presentation is creative in some manner, and it should be using tech on some level as well, ideally. And the final thing you want to make sure is you do have some references in there, thinking to some of the different things we'll be talking about curriculum, developing curriculum over the next few classes. If you click right here, it is going to take you to the rubric and how I'm going to mark you for this curriculum story. I'm not going to take the time to go through the entire thing. You should do that on your own. However, there's 3 main categories I'm going to be focusing on. One is quality of product and presentation. The next is tech integration. And then finally, some pedagogical connections to your teaching practice. So think about those as you're developing this curriculum story. Now I'm going to jump back to that previous document and go to the bottom where I have some exemplars. What I try to do is find some different examples, and of course I've never taught this course before, this is new to me, but I've kind of looked at 5 different professors who have taught it in the past, looked at their courses and pulled it together to create mine. So these are different examples from some of those different courses. So one student chose an infographic, another created a website, some made an interactive classroom to display their curriculum story, book creator, a video, and a website. So check those out and decide which approach, or maybe something completely different, that you are going to use. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, please let me know.